Welcome into the ATB show. It is atbshow.com. You go there, you get all the links. We made an executive decision in the moment. We are on YouTube right now and the Face Space, and we're looking into how we can get to other places. We're opening it. Damn it, we're going to get our MySpace page back. Did we have a I think we did have a when we had the old show Rubber Shoes. I think we had a MySpace page.
Yep, I believe
so we're gonna look for her under the ashes of the fire and see if we can bring that one back. Of course, Little Shoes has no idea what we're talking about when we say MySpace.
I know what MySpace is, of course.
Yes, It was a website made of wood, and all the pictures were in sepia tone. It was very exciting. So we appreciate you guys joining us. We've got a handful of things to get to. And we want to thank, of course, every weekday morning, the Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant, brought to you by our friends.
Weekdays.
I'm sorry, every morning. Yes, even twice on Sunday before church, you get the Rubber Shoes Wrap Up and Rant, brought to you by our friends, as this show is, at AAA Work Trucks. So we want to thank them for their support, and you guys for your support. When you're checking us out, if anything tickles your fancy, please like and share and comment and subscribe for sure. We appreciate you checking out the show. We are down a ton of soldiers. We should have brought, of course, the angriest guy we know, but a wealth of knowledge when it comes to the NFL and all the quirky rules. And I want to get him on relatively soon. We speak of Bobby Dugan, of course. Our good friend, Bobby Dugan, doesn't like college football. And I want to peel that onion a little bit more because I don't get it. He doesn't like college football. He despises most of the retro stuff, all the NFL throwback stuff, which is coming back in full force because the NFL has reintroduced the secondary helmet, which never made sense to get rid of. But welcome Roger Goodell to the chat because he's a moron, and that's why things happen that way in the NFL. So we're going to get right into it. We're going to eat our vegetables first, boys. Little Shoes and Rubber Shoes from Studio A and B in the Lowell building. Let's talk about it. The only positive thing to happen this week, because I do like them, although confounding is the song choice they had last year, although I like the song. Is it Scott McCallum, Dancing on My Own? That was like their anthem last year, remember?
No.
Which is, you don't remember that? Yeah, Dancing on My Own was the song that would play in the locker room. It was sort of their battle cry.
Oh, yeah.
Which was, I like the song, don't get me wrong. Love the song, actually. But it doesn't make it's confusing as a locker room anthem for a bunch of grown men. And then the song is weird because it's being sung by Scott. But the lyrics are, it's as if he's speaking in the first person as a female, if you listen to it. Nonetheless, the Red Sox are confused at every angle, except they did make a great decision. They brought back the guy that I think created the anthem last year with Dancing on My Own. Kike's back for at least 1 year.
Yeah.
And it's funny because you hear it and it's true. He did talk about the fact that they brought me back. It's $10 million. And I know a lot of people are going to like roll their eyes and laugh because it's not a lot of money, but it's life-changing for my family, which I loved. And I love that they're bringing him back because I don't have an issue with him. I don't think he's part of the problem. I'm thrilled he's back. I don't know what you guys think. And I guess we are closing in. I'm sure you guys have run the math at the Corey household. We're not even going to get close to the 83 that I was hung out to dry for 83. Are we going to even get close?
Yeah. What are they at? 65 right now?
I don't look anymore. I did look the other day because I was so intrigued. I know that we are now 9-something out of the wild card.
Yeah, 9.5, I think. Yeah.
9.5 out of the wild card, and we are just racing to the bottom in the AL East. I don't know. I think the only beneficial news I heard this week is that apparently, depending on what his decisions are during the winter, Rich Hill might be in the booth next year.
Oh,
and people like Rich Hill in the booth, so I'm excited about that as a fan. But other than that,
look it up first.
I don't know. I mean, we run the math. If they go 500, what do they get to? 78?
67 and 70 at the moment. 9 games out of 9 games. They made up a half game.
Okay.
9 games out of the last wild card spot. So 67 and 70. So how many games left?
Carry the 4 and divide by 3.
137 right now. They got 25 games left. So if it's still possible. It's still mathematically possible to get to 83 wins.
Oh, that's exciting.
They have to win 16 more games.
Yeah, and I mean, it's becoming more and more of a. It's almost a chore at this point because I told you guys last week where Cameron and I are going on the 18th, and I'm like, dude, we're gonna go. We're gonna pay an inordinate amount of money for parking. We're gonna go in. We're gonna sit down. As soon as we're down 6-0, which will probably be the top of the second.
You're playing in Kansas City, so it's a good chance for a win.
I'd like to think so.
I
think the best part of the day is going to be when we get on Route 1 headed back home and we stop at Kowloon. That'll probably be the best part of the day. That's what I'm looking for.
I'm looking. The missus and I have been. I told her I would like to go to one more game, so we're gonna. And that Kansas City series is looking.
I
like
might be Kowlooning it up next week, Tim.
Little shoes. What's happening?
For work. I'm going to the Saugus store.
You absolutely should be going to Kowloon.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
1,000%.
Lowe's I think is well.
Like
Good.
right there.
This will be his first time driving down the Route 1, so that should be interesting.
Yeah. It's because if you're well, and I think Lowe's is on the right hand side.
Yeah.
Southbound.
I mean, I'm going in for 6, so it won't be that bad.
All right. Well, yeah. I mean, there's no reason why you shouldn't stop on the way back. Yes.
Oh yeah.
And
I'll be putting an order in for some Saugus wings.
Yes, they're so good, so good, so good. Not a sponsor yet, but Kowloon, the Wong family. How are you? Yes. We love them. We love them. That'll be the best part of my Sunday. So, all right. So they could get to 83. We're happy about Kike, and I think we can move on now. We talked about the Red Sox.
Oh no, you got it.
Box checked. Oh no.
Brought up Tristan Cassis made his major league debut this week. He had his first major league home run last night. He is a beast. He's like Tyler size. He's 6'5", 250.
Oh.
He actually looks like a first baseman when he plays defense. He's made some great plays already this week in his couple games that he's played. Very positive. That's something to look forward to watching him play the rest of the season.
Yep.
He will probably be your first baseman next year. Well, actually, I'm guessing he will be, but they still have Eric Hosmer signed for one more year.
So you got one more year?
I'm pretty sure he would, or maybe he has there's an option after this season for him or the team. So who knows? But Tristan Cassis looks like he will be your first baseman next year. Or they could do something like him and Hosmer switch up because JD Martinez is probably not going to be here, so they'll need a DH. So maybe they switch off DH and first base. But I don't think Bobby Dahlbeck is going to
I was just going to say, I think Dahlbeck's not going to have a job.
Yeah.
Interesting.
He had all the opportunity after the way that he finished last season.
Yeah. Yep.
The job was his, and he just didn't perform this year.
And who would be? I mean, the bullpen's a mess. And the pitching staff,
they have a lot
of work to do. How are they going to get what they need to get done over the winter? Do they get it? Do you think they get anything done over the winter, or did we just show up again and hope for the best?
Well, so if the ownership wants asses in the seats next season, they got to do something, because
that's the goal. I would think
if they're going to keep the team as is and just bring up guys from AAA and maybe get sign a couple guys for $7 million here, $7 million there, just to fill some holes.
Yep.
They are not going to come close to selling out any games except for maybe the Yankees games next year. This happened before. So they were talking on the local sports shows that this happened, I think it was 2016 or 2017.
Yep.
Where they had a really bad year, and then the ownership stepped in and that's when they
blew
signed
it up. Yep.
Panda.
Yeah. Yes.
So they made bad signings, but they went out and spent some money. I have a feeling they may be spending money this offseason, because I don't think the ownership wants to see the watching Tampa Bay last night. Oh my God. They said that there was 8,000 people in the stadium, but they must have been behind the camera.
That's amazing.
Holy mackerel! It was very thin.
Yeah, it's such. If Tampa was full, it's still such a grotesque watch. The garage drives me crazy.
Right.
And if they were full, it would still be annoying. But having to watch that garage empty just makes it that much worse. I don't know. But here's the thing. They don't need to leave to spend the right money. They could spend the right money and keep Zambo and keep Devers. They're probably not going to keep both, though. And they've got them right now, and it's still not working. So who, if they spend the money to keep both of them, probably not. It'll probably be Devers, right? Because then Trevor can slide, and they can figure the rest out. So who do they spend the money on externally? If Santa's got you on his lap right now, Rubber Shoes, who do you want?
I have to look. I have no
Aaron
idea
Judge.
what the market looks like
Aaron
right now.
Judge.
Well, yeah. So
Well, the Red Sox fan.
He's the big ticket out there. They're not gonna pony up for that because he's older too. He's over 30 or close to 30.
Isn't it funny? Doesn't he feel like he's 12?
Yeah.
Like
Yeah, I feel like he's been like the big young star for like 7 years.
Yeah. That's what's so fascinating. And I feel like they're going to just pony up the money to keep him because why wouldn't they? I mean, all they do is re-sign their hitters and move the fences in. What's that?
He's 30 years old.
Yeah. And you sort of have to like their math out there. They sign their big hitters and they move the fences in a little bit every year. It's like batting in a silo,
He's like Ohtani, but then I realized I remember remembering him coming in, and then I realized I was like 13.
Yeah, he's been here for quite a bit, which is depressing. So
they're gonna Evaldi's up at the end of the season.
Yep.
JD's up at the end of the season.
Yep.
Sander has an option. Like the only person, they have Trevor Story and so now Kike. They have Verdugo.
Yep.
And Devers is signed, but he'll be in his last year of his contract next year.
Yeah,
they should restructure.
Well, yeah, they don't do that in baseball because all the money's guaranteed in baseball, so they don't have to restructure. There's no salary cap. They don't have to. Because actually, remember when the Red Sox were going after A-Rod, that A-Rod was willing to restructure his contract to come to the Red Sox, and the players' union was like, "No, you're not."
Nope. Yeah, don't do that. Don't start that nonsense. Right. Oh boy.
So there's hopefully we have an exciting off season this year. That there's stuff we're excited about. I mean, Trevor Story was last minute in the spring that they signed, so hopefully there's something like the Kurt Schilling thing around Thanksgiving time.
Yep. Somewhere between Thanksgiving and Christmas, there should be something awesome. Yep.
But definitely, so Brian Bayo is something to keep your eye on the rest of the season.
Yep.
The starting pitcher that came up, he's had one really good outing, mostly been a little shaky, but you can definitely see he has the stuff. He just has to put it together.
Yep.
And so watch him the rest of the season. Tristan Cassis, watch him. That's exciting that's what you have to look forward to right now. Cause I'm not going to say there's no chance because there is a chance, but it's highly unlikely that they can make the playoffs.
Yep. Who's he's just entertaining to watch. The robust gentleman playing for the Mets. Danny, is it Danny or he's a meatball and he just swings at it and it looks like a foul tip and it's gone.
Yeah, it looks like he's playing in slow motion, but
I would love I would just love a character like that. We've got a lot of great players, but I would just love not a sideshow, but I want a character. I would love for them
to comes out and he'll pitch every once in a while and he throws like 46-mile-per-hour pitches. They're strike.
The Twins.
Yeah.
The keeper of the Twins.
Kind of a big meatball looking guy too. He's funny. He's a good character. Yeah. But so look forward to watching the prospects the rest of the season and hopefully having some fireworks during the off season.
I'm trying to think. What is this kid's name?
While you do that, I'm gonna
Well,
start
the
going.
Mets have so yesterday after last night, Atlanta Braves have tied the Mets for the NL East right now, so they've let them back in it. Yankees, the Yankees are collapsing, so if they end up losing the AL East, that would be something worth watching also.
It is interesting that they have been so terrible since the break, right? I mean, and
Historically terrible.
yeah, and I've always just correlated it to the Red Sox. I'm always so fearful when we go into the break hot, and I was hopeful that we'd come out of the break, and we didn't. But like, yeah, it's amazing that it happened to the Yankees.
I don't know what.
And they're terrible, and they're still in first, which is annoying as hell.
I might be wrong. I'm not the biggest baseball guy, but I believe the last month they finished with the worst record they ever have in a month since I believe it was like 85. They said
that's phenomenal news.
So the Yankees are 4.5 ahead of Tampa Bay. I believe it was at the All-Star break. The Yankees were 16.5 ahead of the next team in first place. So they've come back 10 games or 12 games.
It's in the chat. It's in the Facebook chat. It is Jacob deGrom.
Oh.
Yeah.
Jacob deGrom's their pitcher. Their stud.
Oh.
He's their stud pitcher. Yeah.
He's a absolute
for the Mets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
He's their ace.
I guess that's who it is. But I just every time I see him hit, he just.
There's another guy on the team. So pitchers don't hit anymore.
No, they're talking about just who we'd want to get.
Oh, who do we want to get? Oh, never mind me. Never mind me. Okay, yeah, no, I feel like it's Danny or something. Is the kid on the Mets that I'm thinking about? But anyway, we're talking about the Mets. We've devolved into like.
I was gonna start.
We're going down a wormhole. I don't want to be in anymore. So let's move on. .org. Where are we going? Are we going to discuss the torn ACL before we get to college football, and then of course our draft, which was amazing, amazing how poor it went for me. But go ahead. Good.
So Gallinari, last week we thought he had a torn meniscus and was only going to be out about a month. But
I'm going to check it right now. Let me grab my phone.
After further review, he tore his ACL and will be out most of the season, if not all the season. He's hoping he'll be back, come March, April time. But who knows with the ACL repair, what it'll be like. So the rumors have been Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah, which is. You know what? Of all the people that could be like sort of maybe a thing that might happen, I don't have an issue with that.
I'm cool with that, especially getting him a ring,
You're fine with that. Tyler, Carmelo Anthony, in or out?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah, because I think he'd come in.
To the bench we need.
And I think he'd come in and he'd be like Easy Al, and he just would accept the leadership and the veteran and the grandpa role, and he'd have some magical moments. And I just and I know on paper, like if there's a conversation about getting, oh my God, I'm drawing a blank now. Help me. We were talking just from the Nets. Why am I drawing a blank on his name now?
Oh,
Durant. Thank you. Yeah, like on paper, you're like, oh, all day. Of course, we take Durant. I don't want him though. He upsets the apple cart to me, and I think Carmelo would be like, yep, I'll look great in green. Let's do this, and I'm all about it. All about it. I think he adds some leadership. He's been around the barn. Love it. Absolutely love it.
My team is stacked.
He's already. Don't talk about it yet. We're not there yet. He's looking. He just realized the fantasy draft happened. It happened overnight Tuesday morning.
Yeah.
It was Monday into Tuesday morning. We just set it up. Janina set up to just do auto pick because Dugan checked in and he's like, are we not doing anything? And I'm like, I mean, you could. I think if you wanted to, you could have gone in and set stuff up in a certain order if you were worried about it. But I thought it would be more fun to just let it fly. So we just let it fly. I know Janine and I didn't do anything to set it up whatsoever. All right, so Gallinari, torn ACL, back in the spring, late winter, early spring, maybe-ish. And we're the three of us are in on Carmelo. And Lord,
Yes, sir.
Lord knows what Adam and Scotty think. I'm sure we'll hear all about it next week.
I've been. Can I go to college football now?
We can go to college football. Then we're going to go
I've
to
been
Patriots
chomping at the
picks,
bit
and we're
to
going to talk about our
maybe
draft.
Adam's out because he's mourning because Sue Bird lost last night and is out of
Yeah,
the
after that
WNBA
travel, did you
playoff.
see that?
No.
That the absolute. It was like the game winner they
No,
got.
I didn't see
just
it.
absolute travel.
I love that Little Shoes was watching.
Appalling
Oh.
travel.
Interesting.
That's all. The only coverage I saw of it was how was this not called a travel? That's all I saw.
Yeah, I got home last night and checked in on the Red Sox. It was 3-0. I said the world is in order. I can move on. I did because I can't watch, and I know Cheryl's recording it, so I can watch it later. And I decided that and she was actually, was it the other night? She went to dinner the other night with Mrs. Branco over to Kevin's place. Which if you've never been or haven't been, shameless plug for our good friend Kevin, 34 Park in Andover, phenomenal restaurant. We had our neighborhood draft there, Rubber Shoes. So this is the group of us. This is a group of us from like it's mostly Kevin's class and Paul's class, and there's like just a group of us. We're in. Trainer said we are in season 27, approaching Super Bowl 26, because we didn't have a Super Bowl in the first year. So we were. That was our 27th draft.
Wow.
And Kevin gave us the back room at his restaurant, 34 Park in Andover, by the way, and it was awesome. We were treated like kings, and we decided that's going to be the new location. We used to always do it at somebody's house, and then COVID hit, and we were doing it digitally, and now we've decided we're going to make sure that this is a thing. So it was really good. And then my mom and his mom went there for dinner the other night. If you've never been, you should go there. Plug over. So college football. Go ahead, Little Shoes.
I mean,
we talked about Stu Bird. Maybe that is why he's not here. Do you think that's why last minute he canceled on us? And Scotty Dukes, we send our well wishes to his household. They apparently are tackling COVID again. Again at the Dukes household. And for the naysayers at home, he's fully vaccinated. So it's just it's sweeping through his household again. So
it's just a curse against that.
Yeah. So he's busy not feeling well. So he'll be back next week. Adam should be back next week, and we can discuss all the things that are Sue Bird. And let's get to college football. Go ahead.
All right, for the third time here.
I apologize. Go ahead.
No, the UTEP UNC game being just one of the craziest college football games, at least craziest fourth quarter in college football history.
We were watching that.
What night was that?
Saturday afternoon.
Okay.
North Carolina, UNC Tar Heels.
Okay.
Yeah, UTEP scored 40 points in the fourth quarter.
What?
And lost.
Oh my God. I enjoyed the hell out of Florida State beating LSU. That was great.
That was incredible too, the blocked extra point.
I think, and I know this is going to fall on wide open ears because you guys are ND fans. I think Brian Kelly leaving ND the way he did to go to LSU is one of the. I'm going to make up a word here.
And picked up a Southern accent.
Oh, that was so ridiculous, which is really funny. I said to Janina, I feel like he's been there. I feel like this is like his sophomore year there, but this is the first year. It's just been such a long gap since he left. But he left in the middle of the night because he left before the bowl game, right?
Yeah.
I just think it's such a crappy thing that he did. I wish him nothing but sorrow at LSU. So watching Florida State, who I also hate, it was the lesser of two evils, and I went all FSU, and I love that he came back and still lost. Phenomenal, and I just love this time of year. It's
that was the only loss by an SEC team this weekend.
That's amazing. That's amazing. They're so stacked. I just love this time of year because right now what do we got? There's probably some random game on tonight. I know it's Wednesday. Tomorrow you got Thursday Night Football. You've got college football tomorrow night. And Thursday Night Football. How do you guys feel about getting your sea legs about who's on what network and the fact that we have to watch Amazon Prime tomorrow?
Well,
right?
We'll see. We'll see if Mother Shoes can figure out how to watch the game tomorrow night.
Why?
I didn't even think about that. That's some BS.
What happened?
I'm at the fire station, so she has to figure out how to get on streaming tomorrow night.
Oh, all right. Yeah, Janina's annoyed. Like, Janina's like, I just want to come home And we have DirecTV at our house. She goes, I just want to come home and put on like normal TV, which DirecTV is not normal TV. Nobody's got normal TV anymore, but you know what I mean. She was like, I just want to deal with like the quote unquote the cable box. And I appreciate that. But at the same time, it's not that big a deal. We have all of our TVs are TCL Roku TVs. You just go into the app, you go to Amazon Prime Video, and you open it up, and it's going to be right there. What's that?
So my biggest thing about the streaming having to go to like Apple TV or
like Friday Night Baseball on Apple TV.
Having to do that is I cannot flip during commercials. That is what I do. I do not like sitting there waiting for it to come back. I'm flipping, even if I'm flipping to 10 other stations on commercials. I'm flipping. I'm not sitting there just waiting.
Right.
So that's what I don't like about having to go to an app, to watch a program and then stuck there.
I feel like it's my gig to bury Peacock every single week on this show, but like if it's something like Peacock, it's not a quick press open two apps.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that.
Waiting a good 5 minutes for this thing to buffer and load up.
But I think what you're going to see happen moving forward, I think you're going to see things like Fubo, right?
Yeah.
Fubo, which a lot of people have. I think you're going to see stuff like they're going to make, you're going to add Amazon Prime, almost as a channel, right? So when you subscribe to that, they're going to bake it into the experience and they're going to make it clickable.
Bottom, right.
Yeah, they're going to make it. Yeah, because I appreciate that. Like when I'm watching that, I can't really flip back because I have to exit on our TV at home. I have to exit the app and then go back into my satellite square to go back to DirecTV.
Yeah.
And that is a royal pain in the ass. Yes.
Same on our Xfinity.
Yep.
Yeah. It's even like football ads, it only lasts like 45 seconds. So it's like, it's not, other than like halftime and stuff, obviously. Like when they go to a timeout, you're only having like 30 seconds of commercials, and you'd like to watch like a nice 30 seconds of Seinfeld, but like by the time you exit the app and go back, you're back,
Yep.
Yeah, so that's the same thing. So with Xfinity /Comcast /Peacock,
yes,
when we can get Amazon Prime from the cable box. We don't have to go and I have Apple TV, but I don't really need it for much anymore because most of the stuff I can just go straight from the cable box.
Yep.
But it takes a while. It's not so you can't just flip back to cable and the flip back. It takes too long, so it's not even worth trying to do it.
Yep. Yeah. I'm intrigued. Who is it? It's Herb Street and who on Amazon Prime?
Al Michaels.
All of that's fascinating to me. And I also think it's interesting that they allowed Herb Street to go jump and do that, but he's still on ESPN for college football.
Oh,
and to your point, I'm amazed, and I love him. I'm amazed Lee Corso's back.
Yeah,
I didn't see any of it. We were busy at Chestnut Hill watching BC lose to Rutgers. I cannot imagine that Corso has become any more lucid in the last 12 months.
Yeah, I didn't. I saw it when I texted it that I saw it. I was at the gym, so I wasn't listening to it. I was just watching it.
Yeah.
But I guess when I was driving around later in the day, the local sports talk had it on.
Yep.
And they, Jack Harlow was making picks, and they said that Corso was looking at him like, who the hell is this guy?
Right.
I thought
that's not Elvis.
Celebrities on here making picks.
Yeah. They flew him in. He came in the jet. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
That's interesting. Usually, where were they?
Ohio
Must
State.
have been Kentucky.
Oh, they were at Ohio State.
They were at Ohio State.
Okay. What's his connection to Ohio State?
I didn't see it, so
Kentucky,
I don't know.
That's why I'm.
He's a OSU fan. Who knows?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Interesting.
Maybe. No, I thought he was.
Like
I'm
LeBron.
just butchering it. I think I'm completely wrong.
I appreciate I went off because I just hate LeBron for any reason I have. I appreciate, but when they're like, well, and because Janina said this, and she's right, of course she is. They're like, well, he's just a young kid from Akron. Okay, then get a Kent State shirt. That's Akron.
Akron has a college too.
Sure, yes, but like in the grand scheme of things, he's only showing up at that game because he was going to get press time. Now you could argue, well, one of our guys from the Celtics was there too. I'm not worried about that. Like LeBron's such a jackass. He was only there to be there for that.
It's exciting.
He's such a dick. Like, just get off my TV. Yeah. Go to Los Angeles with your crappy team that's going to suck again. Nobody wants to see you at college football. You're trying to ruin a second sport. Stop it. Stay out.
Yeah, they'll always say, "Oh yeah, he said if he played football, he would have went to Ohio State." And it's like, yeah, okay.
Nobodycares.org, right? Yeah. Like, just honest to God, I was so annoyed that he was there. Don't ruin this game. And I'm, and you guys, ND was supposed to be 16 and it was 10, right?
13, I think.
They lost. Vegas 20, I thought Vegas had it at 16.
Oh yeah, no, the spread was 16 and they lost 21-10.
Oh, it was 11. All right. Yeah. That's in that environment, dude. Are you kidding? Yeah. That's
so the starting quarterback, it was first start. He's a sophomore.
Yep.
And he had, probably, I don't know, 15, 20 snaps last year that he played in. So this is his first real. It's your first start.
That's ridiculous.
In Columbus. Yeah.
It's a tall order.
I was real happy that the Notre Dame was winning at halftime, and then that they kept it with 2-11. I was happy with that.
So where do you see Notre Dame finishing? What's the record?
I'm hoping they run the table because they will probably need to run the table to get into the playoffs because they don't have a conference championship to win.
Yep. So 11-1.
Yeah.
All right.
They have two tough games on it. They have USC, which is, I think they're ranked like 12th.
Thank God that game is back. That should have never stopped.
Their other biggest test will be Clemson.
Yep.
They play Clemson. So they were number 4 going into this week, Clemson.
Yep.
So and they play BC this year.
I'm aware of that, and I will throw out. I probably might have had a different number if our outcome was different. I'm absolutely going to go 5-7. I can't even. The worst team in the Big Ten. Vegas had us by 7, and we figured out a way to let their offense march 96 yards on foot. Didn't throw the ball once. We looked like we woke up and somebody was in our room. Like, we looked so... I can't even. And the whole experience of the opening day at the Heights, it's always early September. Whatever the temperature on weather.com is, add 80 degrees because we're in, as my father used to call it, God rest his soul, aluminum stadium. Like, whatever, you're like a baked potato if you're Irish Catholic. Shocking. Yeah. Yeah. Like, the sweat is sweating, it's just absolutely disgusting. It was actually reasonable that day, but just sitting there. And then I come to find out, because we're sitting, so we have obviously our family seats that we've had forever, and Janina has company seats. We're sitting in the company seat, so we're behind the BC. We're 2 rows off the field behind BC, and there's a whole bunch of kids behind the bench too. 70, write this down, it makes me sick to my stomach, 78 recruits visiting the Heights. And the exodus.
How many are they going to get?
78 kids visiting the Heights Saturday. The exodus when we punted, when we should have gone for it at the end of the game. I'm like, oh, there's a whole bunch of kids that aren't coming back.
Yep.
This is Halfley's 3rd year. We should have some mojo. You've got your kids on the field that you recruited. These are living rooms you sat in, and we looked like morons Saturday. So I'm a full, hard 5-7, and we'll be there for all the games. We're going to UConn.
Well, at least you won't have to worry about going to a bowl game then.
Oh, no. My Christmas season's wide open. There'll be no winter travel. Unless we get invited to the Fenway Bowl, which makes me want to eat my face and jump out of a first floor window.
It's like, I am a Notre Dame fan, but I do not hate BC.
I know.
I grew up
It's just, is it not mind-boggling how we lost that game? How do we find a way to lose that game? We should be 1-0.
How far they've fallen since Matt Ryan was there is just...
Well, and the fact that you actually have to reference him, because that was 4,000 years ago.
I know.
Right? I'm glad you brought that up. The last time we won in Blacksburg, which is where we're going to be this weekend, was Matt Ryan 2007.
Wow.
How old were you, Little Shoes?
4.
Great game. I used to have no gray hair back then. It's this word is I invented in the last 6 months. It is troublematic what we were doing as a football team in public. People paid to be there Saturday, and that was an absolute debacle. A debacle.
It's hard. So part of it is they keep.
I'm not crying. It's the ragweed. I'm not crying.
Their standards high. They're not going to.
Oh yeah.
Lower their standards just to have better players come to the heights, and I applaud them for that because Notre Dame, they say they do it, and Stanford says they do it, but I don't think they are still keeping their standards high for athletes. But BC definitely is, and it's a shame that they just can't get the talent.
Well, the biggest problem that you could point to, and I appreciate it, and I agree, and I appreciate it. I practice saying that with my therapist without crying or laughing. I appreciate it. They rolled the whole offensive line, and we've always been, right? It's always been a bunch of fat kids from the South Shore, like Cohasset, Hull, Scituate, like it's all these big fat Irish kids from the South Shore. It's always been, they joke about it. It's U line, right? It's university offensive line, right?
Used to be.
Yeah, and now they've gone to U-Hoo. Like that, like nobody, like it's a bunch of freshmen. They rolled the whole offensive line. It's very, very young. And I appreciate that. They were so underprepared. And then some of the decisions about like just punting in the end, like it's not a field. And there was a punt earlier in the game, and Aiden's like, "What are we doing?" And I looked at him. I'm like, "Field position?" He goes, "Are you like?" I couldn't even say it with any certainty. It was a lot of confusing decisions, and we're wasting too much time on a school that doesn't deserve our time. I'm disturbed by them at every facet. I'm looking forward to BC men's basketball. There, I said that.
Wow.
Also a season ticket holder. Yeah, it's.
No, this is on topic enough. It's a couple weeks old now, but it popped in my head. I don't know if either of you saw that Manti Teo documentary that came out.
I love that you're bringing that up. Manti Teo. Oh, don't get Dad mad.
Jesus.
The whole catfish thing.
Well, you know what though? Here's the thing, and somebody put this in perspective. I caught this online. He did nothing wrong.
Yeah, right. But did you?
His pride got in the way, and he didn't want to admit to his dad that he had never met her, and he got catfished. And it could have happened to anybody. And I haven't watched it yet. I'm looking forward to watching it though.
That came out in that. Did you hear about that?
No, what happened?
Where like the people in charge of the cat got members of his family involved in it.
Oh yeah.
To give it's like I feel like a lot of people owe him an apology because
yeah.
I mean some of the jokes are funny, but
yeah, but I mean, in the grand scheme of things, though, you can watch it and you can be like, oh my God, he lied to all these people. No, he was lied to, and he just fell for it.
It was like a giant scheme that a lot came out in that, and I'm glad it did.
I mean, that's something that we talk so much nowadays about. Mental health. I mean, if you do that to the wrong person, you can,
exactly. Another if that happened now, I think it would be a much bigger deal than, then. Obviously it was a big deal, but
it was, probably because
it was a much different perspective on it.
Yep.
It was
he
very
just
much
wanted to push it aside as quick as possible.
Yeah. Yep.
Where if I think something like that happened today, people would rally around him. To a degree.
Possibly.
Yes. No, I agree. I agree with that. Absolutely. Yeah. It feels like you hear the story. I remember seeing the trailer on Netflix. I'm like, oh my God, I sort of forgot about that. But now I'm super intrigued. I love all the documentaries and docuseries on Netflix. I think they do a brilliant job with that.
Have an actual family member die.
No, honestly. Yeah. Yep. Unbelievable. And
one more college thing I'll touch on.
Yes, sir.
I always find a way to sneak this stuff in.
Mm-hmm.
But
I'm nervous now.
Current commentator for SmackDown, former Colts punter Pat McAfee, is now stepping away from that, and he's going to be on College Game Day.
Yeah, it's funny you bring that up. Janina had just texted me today, and she mentioned that she saw that he's going to be on game day now too.
Yeah,
so where
he's
is he?
doing that.
Who is he filling in for? Who is he taking a role away from?
I'm not sure.
Or is he going to be down in the crowd because he's Pat McAfee? Or
Oh yeah, maybe he's like the sideline
he's not gonna
guy,
be able to
like
do
that
commentary
goes out
for-
and interviews the crowd.
yeah,
for
yeah,
wrestling for the next couple months because of it. So he's gonna, have a pretty big role then.
interesting.
He's the best.
He's the best.
I mean, just at all.
I'll take
just
your word
out
for
of-
it. I believe you. Yes.
Yeah,
It's just-
I like you've never watched the Pat McAfee show, his podcast.
Oh, I've seen him obviously he has Aaron on all the time. I've seen him with Aaron Rodgers, but to watch him, no, and not for any other reason than I just haven't watched him.
It's like your sports radio, but there's no rules.
Sure, yeah,
Like
no,
they
I get
can
it.
talk about whatever, and it's
Yep.
just
Actually,
Dude's
that's
having
right.
fun.
He's our competition. We can't talk about good.
We just did. It's fine.
the best was once he had this was a couple weeks
Take
ago,
this
some,
however
like,
you want to. Nobody's really our competition.
Some 13-year-old, maybe younger kid called in
Yeah.
on the show, and like Pat was like saying because they do it with AJ Hawk, the group packer,
Yep.
and he was like. Pat was telling him how he needs to he's like, all right, thanks for calling in. You can't have it. And then right before they hung up on the kid, they have like a guy that does like an overly annoying Boston sports fan.
Yep.
Like just always when Jared Stidham was gonna be our starter, just talk about how Stidham's gonna be the best quarterback in the league. And the kid was like, and he said the F word, Boston Connor, and then hung up. And they all popped. It was great. Sorry, side tangent. I guess
That's fine. No, we're fine.
Speaking of Boston sports,
we have Scotty Duke's decision on the Patriots for the year. Do we want to figure out what everybody's got? Adam did not give us that intel.
You want to say his first, then we can go around.
Do we want to touch our fantasy league first?
We can go there and then we can wrap with Patriots picks. Sure.
There's
I like
a
that.
blockbuster trade in the works.
I love the context around this is really funny. Last week on the show, I made my early decision that we were going to see the Bucks go 8-9 and miss the playoffs. I'm standing by that. Now the gods were listening, and we went this year. Last year we made the mistake of doing our draft live on the show. Terrible radio, by the way. Terrible radio, by the way. So we decided we're not going to do that. We're not even going to worry about drafting.
I'm cringing thinking about that episode.
As Rubber Shoes has dubbed it, it's the league nobody cares about. So just to add some levity and some excitement, or lack thereof, to the conversation, we decided to just go auto pick. So Janina, who's our commissioner, God help us, better than Goodell, she decided that she went in, she turned it all on, and she set it for auto pick, and they randomized it and basically said it's going to happen Tuesday morning. So I knew it was basically going to happen West Coast time. It was probably 3 a.m. our time. It happened overnight. So I wake up, and don't you know that I get Tom and Brady as my quarterback because obviously the gods were listening and they knew that I didn't want. Now I've never wanted Brady on my fantasy team. Let me finish. Because I've never wanted a Patriot. I don't want Patriots in my fantasy team.
He also was never a great fantasy quarterback. Even
he's also not an awful fantasy quarterback. He's also not an awful fantasy quarterback. So when I went in, I forget who I had. I think I had Trey Lance, I had Kirk Cousins, and I had Brady. So I went in, and we hadn't really discussed this, and I wasn't doing anything that I didn't think anybody would predict anyway. You guys probably all knew if I was looking for a quarterback. I'm very excited that Matty is no longer stuck on the Falcons with Arthur. I shouldn't have come down at halftime blank. And he's now over with the Colts, thank God. So I was going to go get him. I figured nobody would be shocked by that. So I went to get him, and I knew Janina had just said that she had to make a change to do that. So I dropped Kirk Cousins and went to go get Matty Ryan. In doing so, they said, you have to drop somebody. And I'm like, well, but I just did, but they didn't know that. One hand wasn't watching the other. So I dropped Trey Lance, and they let me have Matty Ryan. It had to go through waivers. It happened yesterday morning. It became official. Then your father sent me, was it this morning we executed this, Rubber Shoes? Very exciting. Yeah, I think I got a trade request this morning, and I knew as soon as I saw Rubber Shoes is making a trade request. Is it stabbing Voorhees? What is it? Killing Voorhees? Chopping Voorhees?
Voorhees Stabbers.
Voorhees Stabbers is the name of your father's name. So Rubber Shoes sends through a trade request, and I absolutely knew he was coming for Tom Brady. You could have offered me 4 napkins and a spork, and I would have made the deal with you. But you didn't. You gave me Justin Herbert, and I couldn't have been happier. What? Yep. So I've got
Why did we do that?
He's my backup. I've got Matty Ice as my starter, and I've got Justin on the bench, and I'm happy as hell.
Why?
I also have
Justin should be your starter.
We'll see.
Why the hell are you? Justin Herbert's like the best fantasy quarterback.
Well, mathematically, I think, did not Mother Dukes won this whole thing, right?
I believe so, yeah.
Yeah, and I'm opening, of course, against Mother Dukes. So mathematically, I got to figure out who's going to give me the best matrix to win this Sunday. And we'll figure that out in the coming days. But I got 2 good quarterbacks, and I got rid of Brady, and I'm going to be right. They're going to go 8-9, and again, I got to be honest, like honest conversation. Everybody seems to be pointing to the fact that he did leave him for 11 days, and it has to do with Giselle. And if that's the case, I feel bad for him. Like, I don't wish that upon anybody. He also, while he was gone, whether he's dealing with marital issues, he definitely got his face worked on. We talked about this last week. We're not going to beat this dead horse. I think there's too much. Like, I think he's gone to the well too many times. And if I'm wrong, he truly is the greatest athlete, team athlete, leader, quarterback, football player, whatever. I don't know how he has all of this going on if mom actually left for Brazil and he's getting Botox and he's trying to also be a leader to this team. I just don't think all those roads intersect in the town of greatness. Tell me I'm wrong, Rubber Shoes. I'm dying to hear your feedback.
I think because he's such an elite performer that I
agree.
He was playing with his mother going through cancer.
Oh, sure. Yep.
So I think he can keep the off-field stuff away when he's playing. I think he can go to work and he blocks all that out and he'll be fine. Well, I'm hoping because I just traded for him. So.
Which would only make all of this richer if he does actually fall apart and you traded for him. Yes.
Yeah.
I would enjoy that immensely. So I'll bring up my team. I don't know who you guys got. I'm intrigued to see who everybody got though. Let's have a conversation about that.
I got Mahomes.
Oh God. So here's one for you. And I know Rubber Shoes, you know these names. Little Shoes might not know them as well. So we're at the neighborhood draft. In any draft in North America, would you, with your first pick, take Patrick Mahomes?
Well, so our draft, our league, my family league.
Okay.
Quarterbacks are weighted a little heavier.
Oh, all right.
So 1 year, I don't think I had the first pick overall. I think I was like the second or third. I did take Patrick Mahomes in the first round.
That's a terrible idea, but okay,
Opa,
keep going.
Who had the first pick overall, was contemplating taking Mahomes first overall, but he ended up taking Jonathan Taylor.
All right.
So in our league, it's a little skewed to. So I know I was actually listening to. Do you ever hear Amy Lawrence in the morning? Do you ever have her on? She's I think she's CBS Sports, so she's the national one that's on it like until 5:30 or 6 in the morning on EI, I think it is.
Okay.
So I hear her every once, and so they were talking about, I can't believe someone drafted a quarterback in the third round, and I'm like, geez, that's because most leagues are set up like that.
Yep.
Our league is totally different. I think Josh Allen, I believe, went in the first round, if not the second. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's weighted a little differently in our league.
Yeah, so somebody in the Bentley Neighborhood League went Mahomes first, and I was dumbfounded by that. Yeah.
In most normal standard point leagues, that's a huge pick to make.
Yeah.
Edelman put up a thing, hype video where he vows to make back the $100,000 he lost on bets.
Oh my God, that's really funny. Yeah, betting last year. Yep.
He's saying he's gonna win it all back in bets. So
Well, where does he live now? Does he live in Mass, or did he move out of town?
Who?
Well, Little Shoes is talking about the fact that that Edelman's talking about winning all of his money back, and I wonder if he's doing this as some sort of a sponsorship because now they've legalized gambling in Massachusetts via the Intertubes.
Yeah, but yet to actually activate it.
Oh, really?
Like October, yeah.
Oh, I thought it was already I thought it was a done deal. Oh, okay.
Voted. They still have to cross all the I's and.
Oh, interesting. Interesting. All right.
Yeah, so they're saying sometime in October it'll actually be live.
Okay.
So I still have to go to the Pheasant Lane Mall to do my first week.
Oh my! Oh, do you go up and park there to get geo-fenced? That's where you do it.
Yep.
I love that. So I still have Brady showing, but I obviously we made that trade.
Yeah,
I've got Fournette. I grabbed Aaron Jones. I got Cooper Kupp. I got Brandon Cooks. I got Zach Ertz. I got Travis Etienne. Dolphins defense. The Buffalo kicker Bass. Godwin. Sanders. Robert Woods. Dotson. Gainwell. And Matty Ryan is my other quarterback. I did okay.
You did pretty good.
Did okay for the random draft. I'm not upset about it.
Random?
Sure, it was random. Yeah, the wife sat up and made sure that I was going to be the number one team in a no money league. Yes, I'm sure that's probably not what happened. She was sound asleep. Trust me. I want to see. Actually, I want to see Dugan's team. If Dugan's team is not up to par, he's not going to be thrilled.
I know Scotty Dukes didn't like his team.
I love that.
In today.
He chimed in, not pleased.
Yeah.
Less than pleased. Okay.
Also, I didn't realize that Jacoby Myers is hurt.
So Justin Herbert, because I still have him, he's projected 42.9 points.
Oh.
What's Matt Ryan projected?
Situation here?
Hang on. Matty's predicted to have 35.3.
Yeah. So you might have to play Herbert.
It's a good problem to have, as Belichick would say. Too many quarterbacks is not a problem. It's a good problem.
Is the Jacoby Myers knee injury a new thing, or am I just not paying attention?
Oh, he's been.
Okay. Because I just got him and Isaiah Wynn were both.
Yeah, he's questionable.
Yeah. I saw the best video. I was going to say meme, but it wasn't a meme. It was just a video. It was just a quick thing. Might have been on TikTok. It was all these guys out on a deck, like having their neighborhood draft. And one guy, and they're all crushing beers, right? And he's like, Jimmy, get over here. And they've got a big board going on the side of the house. He goes, what are you doing? He's like, what? And he goes, your team. He goes, he's suspended. He just got shot and he's dead. It was amazing. And the guy's like, leave me alone. It was so good. But it's all the intel that we have now. We were joking about in our neighborhood league, years ago, we were at somebody's house. Trainer had a big easel, and he was Velcroing names up.
Yep.
Trainer was doing the numbers out of the sporting news 4 days after the games were over. It's so different now. Yeah, and all the intel you have, and people still fuck up because you don't realize that the kid that got shot. I know it's the kid that was named the starting running back at Washington, and then somebody apparently shot him, which I find. Yeah. I think there's a bigger story there. That might be a 30 for 30 coming soon.
Yeah, we used to do that, and it was every draft. Opa would So let's see. Back in the day, let's see who was the stud running back. Say Corey Dillon in his prime, right?
Yep.
4th round. Yeah, I take Corey Dillon. Everyone just starts laughing. Dude, he was gone the 2nd pick of the draft.
Yep.
What are you talking about? Yeah, Tyler, you missed some good time. Now it's all on. We haven't met in person to do our draft in quite a long before Tyler. So Tyler's only done it digitally.
That's amazing.
You get some great moments, and we've had some drafts where we've had those guys that are hammered, and it's like we have to help them do their pick because they can't even read their books anymore. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Oh, brother.
Yeah, we had one year that we didn't have someone show up to the draft because he was arrested and in jail.
Oh my God,
That's pretty awesome.
that is pretty awesome.
Wish I.
Patriots picks.
On to the picks.
So
predictions here.
We got nothing from Adam.
And Duke was. I can read his little blurb for you right here.
Oh,
I won't read the whole thing.
From Scotty. Yeah. So nothing from Adam. We'll find out. We'll find out later.
Go from optimistic to pessimistic. Okay.
Yeah. He says he had them going 11-6 and losing in the playoffs. He sees them starting 2-2 and then eventually, obviously, getting better there.
No, he says they're going to win their first playoff game because the Kraft said they have to win one playoff game. Oh. So he said they're going to win their first playoff game and lose in the second round.
Fair. All right. You want to start first with your prediction? I'll go last, I guess. As I start opening my mouth first.
Somebody go.
Well, I'm probably going to be the most pessimistic, so I don't know if you want.
All right. Yeah, go ahead.
All right. So I'm still on the fence of 6 or 7 wins. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna be optimistic and say 7-11.
7-10.
Oh, 7-10. Yeah, 7-10.
Okay.
I have them. The 7 between the 6 and the 7 is the 7. I have them winning both games against the Jets. That gets them 7 wins. So if they don't win this weekend against Miami, they could start off 0-4.
Oh my God. Okay.
I can see it because they have a tough start here, especially the way they looked and the reports out of training camp. They don't seem to have their stuff together.
Are we really calling the Steelers a tough start, though?
Yep. I think, and listening to the show on the way home from work today, nationally, people think Pittsburgh is better this year with Trubisky starting than they were with Big Ben last year. Big Ben was a shell of himself the last couple of seasons.
You're right. Yep.
I agree with that. I'm just saying they have lost other players.
But Schuster didn't do anything for them really last year. They got they have one of the top rookie receivers coming in Pickens.
Yep.
They have Deontay Johnson. They have Claypool.
Deontay Johnson doesn't know how to catch a ball. Claypool kind of sucks too. But hey, that's just me being a hater.
And my first round pick is Najee Harris. I got him.
I love him. Yep.
Maybe I can start liking the Steelers now that Ben's gone.
Yeah.
Because all the people that made me hate them are gone pretty much.
I'll take a rapist for 200.
Oh my God! Wow!
Thank you for coming.
Not innocent in your court. Wow.
That's therapist.
Wow. Timmy, how are we going
that
here?
Saturday Night
Live?
13-4.
Little Shoes going last?
Yeah.
All right. So we got nothing from Adam. We got 11-6 from Scotty. We got 7-10 from you, Rubber Shoes. 7-10.
Optimistic 7-10. Definitely not making the playoffs. Borderline coming in last place in the AFC East.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go in alignment with my Buccaneers pick. I'm gonna go 8-9, and they don't make the playoffs, and which scares the hell out of me because I don't know if Robert has. There's some women in Florida that could tell us. I don't know if Robert has the balls big enough to do what he. In the gray said he was going to do. Like, he didn't say he was going to do anything, but he's like, we have to make the playoffs. We haven't made the playoffs. We have to win a playoff game.
He said they have to win a playoff game.
Yeah. So I think 8-9. I'm going to go with 8-9. I think Patriots don't make the playoffs. 8-9 Pats don't go to the playoffs.
So.
What's that?
That's my prediction too. So
8-9, no playoffs.
yeah.
Yeah. I think this is the year that no matter where Brady was, here or there, he doesn't go to the playoffs and he finishes 8-9. So that's my story.
Buccaneers?
No, I'm comparing. I'm saying I'm making the similar call, which breaks my heart because I just told you earlier that the University of Chestnut Hill is going to go 5-7. So I'm going to be in a really bad mood at the end of the year, all things considered. Unless Sue Bird comes out of retirement, which I don't think she's going to. Yeah. That was for Adam, who's not here. And I'm dying to hear what he has to say. And we'll also, so we're going to get Adam's late pick.
I follow Tua Live on Instagram, sorry.
We're going to get Adam's late pick. We'll have to get also Bobby Dugan's late pick as well. That way, what we'll do next week is if we have anyone missing from the staff, we will make sure that we get Dugan on the horn 2 o'clock Pacific time, 5 o'clock our time, so we can find out what his thoughts are on alternate helmets. I know he's very annoyed on the Patriots throwback unis with the white helmet, that the Pat Patriot decal has been shrunk to sit above all of the carves.
I'm really mad that the Buccaneers aren't doing the creamsicle this year. They're waiting
next year now. Yeah, I don't know why they're waiting. There's a lot of money to be made because you're running the risk. You're running the risk of not being able to have a 12. Yeah, you could lose out on a lot of Brady creamsicle money, which is fascinating to me. That they wouldn't have pulled the trigger earlier because I think they know that he'll be in a Fox booth.
Maybe you can have a retro Steve DeBerg jersey.
Do you see the retro the Rockets uniforms for next year?
No.
Houston?
No.
Houston's
uniforms, all of Houston's basketball uniforms are terrible.
No, I'm telling you, these are nice.
The old Elijah one and Ralph Sampson, those were okay.
Those, yeah, with the old logo, the like navy with the pinstripes. Let me find these.
Oh.
I don't know if the image is gonna load, but.
Well, I feel like the most recent Reds are like that. They just look like the Chinese national team. They're terrible.
Of course,
and I find it fascinating. And of course, there's a ton of money in the sport. I'm not like fascinated they have the money, but it's incredible to me, the NBA. The amount of uniforms every team has, which I'm fine with, no complaints. I love all the variety. What's fascinating is
let's see if
they will match the floor to the unis. Right?
Here you go. Ready?
The amount of floorboards that some of these teams have to match the unis, because most NBA teams have like, 5 or 6 different fits?
Oh, it's not going to happen.
We cannot see that.
There we go.
Oh, that's terrible. Those are terrible.
Supersonics.
Yeah, those are terrible.
They're basically Seattle jerseys.
Those are terrible. That annoys me when like they're not even the same colors. Nope.
Oh,
no,
you don't like that?
Nope. No, thank you. That's stupid.
You don't like
stupid.
You put the T-Max on here? Right.
What the hell is that? No.
No, nothing.
Can't really see. And you're off mic, so we can't hear you either.
Sorry.
That's
horrible radio, Tyler.
Horrible.
Sorry, guys.
All right, we're gonna put a bow on this. Hopefully, we'll have the rest of the morons back next week. We'll have intel from them on their picks. But we're gonna wrap it up here. We've got Little Shoes and I at 8-9 for the Patriots. Both don't make the playoffs. Rubber Shoes says 7-10 doesn't make the playoffs. And Scotty said 11-6. They will win one playoff game and then get knocked out. Hope he feels better. We'll have Adam back next week. Maybe there'll be a Dugan sighting next week. We appreciate you checking out the show, atbshow.com. Please comment, like, subscribe, all the things, and we'll see you in and around the internet. Have a great week, boys. We'll see you soon.